I was halfway through my morning coffee when I saw the third tow truck roll past my window. Now, that wasn't unusual. My company runs half the trucks in this town. But this one wasn't one of mine. No logo, different plates, and it was hauling away my classic '67 Mustang. Right from my driveway. No knock, no warning. Just a greasy set of hands hooking up my pride and joy like it was junk. I sprinted outside in socks and a t-shirt, cold. Concrete stinging, but it was already gone. 3 cars, all towed, all mine. I knew exactly who was behind it. The HOA. They've been circling me for months. Little letters, citations, improper parking claims, even though I own my home, follow their rules, and, oh yeah, pay my dues early, every single time. This wasn't enforcement. This was personal. But here's the twist. They had no idea I owned the towing company they hired. Yeah, the very trucks they used to punish me. The contracts they signed. The dispatch line they call for tows. Mine, all mine. So I smiled. They wanted a war over curb space and control. They just handed me the battlefield and the weapons. And oh, I don't play fair. Keep watching. Because by the end of this story, their power will be stripped, their secrets aired, and they'll wish they had just left my cars alone. Let me back up a bit. I moved into this neighborhood 3 years ago, gated, quiet, community-driven, as the glossy brochures put it. Translation, power-hungry HOA board and a clipboard army of Karens. The HOA president? Debbie. Mid-50s, bleach blonde, always wearing a visor and a scowl. She treats bylaws like scripture, and herself like Moses. The trouble started with a truck. Not one of my tow trucks, just my personal Ford Raptor parked in my own driveway. One morning, a passive-aggressive note showed up under the wiper. Please move commercial vehicles to garage. Show a guideline 4.1b. That was rich, especially since my neighbor Greg parks his giant RV across 3 spaces for weeks and nobody says a word. I ignored it. Figured it was a mistake. Next week, another note. This one more official. A printed citation. $50 fine. Still, I complied. Parked the Raptor inside the garage. Problem solved, right? Nope. They escalated. Fast. Suddenly, all my vehicles were violations. A small trailer I use for weekend projects. Prohibited equipment. My backup tow truck? Obstructing view lines. Even my wife's SUV was flagged for exceeding driveway width by 2 inches. At first, I tried talking to them, calmly. I even went to the next HOA meeting, sat through 2 hours of complaints about lawn height and mailboxes, just to bring it up. Debbie cut me off mid-sentence. If you have too many vehicles, maybe this isn't the neighborhood for you. That smug smile, the way the rest of the board just nodded. Yeah, that was the moment I realized this wasn't miscommunication. It was targeting, and I knew why. See, I don't blend in here. I didn't grow up in the neighborhood. I didn't kiss rings at wine nights or vote for Debbie. I was the outsider, the one with a successful business. Loud trucks. A younger wife. They hated that, and then the tows started. 3 cars one morning, gone. But that wasn't the worst part. Because what they didn't know is exactly who they were dealing with, and that was just the beginning. After they towed my Mustang, I tried to keep my cool, but they weren't done. Within days, they cited me for unauthorized garage conversion. Because I had gym equipment inside, someone reported me for operating a business from a residential zone. And they fined me for excessive oil stains on the driveway. My driveway. They even mailed my wife a separate violation notice. She was furious. Said she felt watched. That's when I installed cameras. And guess what? Debbie herself was sneaking onto my property late one night, measuring the driveway width with a tape measure. Let that sink in. The HOA president was trespassing. To enforce rules. I reported it. The board reviewed the footage and dismissed it as contextually unclear. That's when I stopped playing nice. But things got even crazier. They tried to ban me from the next HOA meeting, claiming I'd been aggressive. I countered with actual meeting audio I always record, which proved otherwise. So they postponed the meeting. Then 2 of my tow trucks, clearly marked, legally parked on a job, got vandalized. Side mirrors smashed. Tires slashed. Police filed a report but couldn't determine intent. Oh, I knew the intent. They wanted me out. And for a moment I almost gave them what they wanted. I looked at my wife and said, maybe it's time to move. But then I remembered something. I own the towing company, and they just hired us. Their towing contract, signed by Debbie last fall. It automatically renews unless canceled in writing. And guess who's the only authorized cancellation signee? Debbie. And guess who never reads contracts? Also Debbie. Game on. Step 1 was simple. I had dispatch log every HOA. Tow request for the past 6 months. Turns out they'd been towing other residents too, selectively. Mostly younger families. Non-committee members, people who'd spoken up. Step 2. I quietly reassigned all HOA requested tows to my premium response team. That meant full paperwork, HD body cam footage, chain of custody logging, and optional appeal packet. Suddenly, every HOA requested tow became a legal migraine. Residents started questioning the process, asking for video, challenging citations. Step 3. I hosted a neighborhood rights BBQ. Free food, cold drinks. One rule, bring your HOA stories. Dozens showed up. We shared violations, stories, letters. Some folks brought binders. I listened and documented. Turns out Debbie had been using her position to retaliate against anyone she didn't like. And then came step 4. I mailed every HOA member a special community transparency packet inside, a list of every questionable tow with timestamps, screenshots of HOA emails leaked anonymously. Guess who left her? Gmail open on the library PC, and a copy of the towing contract with my signature. Cue the chaos. Next meeting? Standing room only. Greg, the RV guy, finally grew a spine. The quiet couple on the corner. They had photos of Debbie berating a kid over sidewalk chalk. The HOA board stuttered through the meeting. Debbie tried to regain control, until I calmly stood up and handed her a letter. Per clause 3.7, I am formally notifying you that my company is ending its service agreement with this HOA. She blinked. Wait, you can't do that. I smiled. I just did. The fallout was immediate. With no tow service, the HOA couldn't enforce citations. Residents stopped paying fines, demanded audits. 3 board members resigned within a week. Then came the real justice. Someone submitted a petition to dissolve the HOA entirely. It passed. Debbie tried to fight it, hired a lawyer, showed up to meetings, tried to guilt-trip neighbors. Nobody listened. Her final act? Posting a long, unhinged rant on Nextdoor, claiming she was ousted by a criminal towing syndicate. I printed it, framed it, hung it in my office. As for me, I got my cars back. Clean titles, no fees. Even the Mustang, good as new. And now, I park however I want. Funny how a few missing inches of driveway clearance nearly sparked a neighborhood civil war. But here's the thing. Power doesn't come from clipboards or citations. It comes from knowing the rules and being ready when they're weaponized against you. HOAs can serve a purpose, but unchecked power always invites abuse. So read your contracts, know your bylaws, and never underestimate the quiet guy with the tow trucks. He might just own the company. If you've ever dealt with a petty HOA or a Debbie-style dictator, drop a comment and tell me what they did. Or just comment, justice served if you stuck it out to the end. And hey, next time someone tows your car, ask them who owns the truck. You might be surprised.